Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Boolin Sports here, bringing you another YouTube video. I am back bringing you guys, hopefully, better quality videos, better sounding videos. I have finally got a mic. I finally invested in better film work and editing, and basically I upgraded Filmora and I upgraded a mic over the past couple days. I've been working out the kinks with that, just making sure everything's successful. I've also been planning other ideas for videos and stuff like that. But today I will be bringing you my 10 favorite off-season moves. These are not necessarily all free agency. Actually, a few of them have to involve, I'd say about half of them involve a trade, actually. Whether it was just great value for what they gave up and whatnot. But overall, like I said, I want to get back to consistent uploads. Today I'm very happy to announce that the NFL did agree that they are not pushing back the draft. So let's still plan on April 23rd, April 25th. Hopefully I'll have one more mock draft coming out, just because there have been a few other moves like Robbie Anderson to the Panthers and a few other things going on in the NFL world. But today, like I said, I will be bringing you my 10 off-season moves that are my personal favorite, and this can depend on player situation, where they ended up, what value was gave up for them. Basically, if I just feel like they came on a discount. So like I was saying, I've been listening to your guys' comments. You guys said some of the videos are just unwatchable because of the volume of and like the background noise and everything, and that's why I said, do I want to keep doing this? Is this something I want to keep doing? And I told myself, yes, I enjoy making videos for you guys and informing you guys about what I think about free agency and basically just about football. A lot of this stuff has been about football, but I promise for you baseball and basketball fans, once this whole COVID-19 thing gets cleared up, I will start talking about other sports besides football, but this is the only one that we can really focus on. Anyway, I'm glad for all the feedback. I'm glad for all the support on this channel. Just keep growing this community and making it the best football community it can be. But at number 10, we have Nelson Aguilar going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Honestly, this is not, in my eyes, this is not a huge need for the Raiders. They did bring in Tyrell Williams, the rookie from Clemson last year, Hunter Renfrow, and then they also brought in Zay Jones, but none of them are a true number one talent, and you're not getting that with Nelson Aguilar either. But what you are getting is a deep threat that you did not have with Tyrell Williams being injured and Nelson Aguilar being more of that slot guy. So Nelson Aguilar, he does have a tendency to drop the ball a lot, but why I really like this signing is they got him for, I think it was a little over $1 million, and he does have a lot of incentives in his contract, but getting a dude of his caliber for $1 million, that is insane on a one-year deal. That is a huge move by Gruden. At number 9 here, I have Jaron Kearse coming over to the Detroit Lions, a rival of the Minnesota Vikings. But why I really like this deal is because Kearse is one of those players that can play multiple positions. He can play corner, he's played a bit of safety. I could even see him rolling up at a linebacker, like an outside linebacker at his size at 6'4". He's just one of those versatile players, and that's what Matt Patricia looks for in his defense. And we got him on a one-year, $2.75 million deal. That is a very good signing, probably one of my favorites, and he's also a key contributor on special teams. Like I said, I could see this guy finding his way to be like a rotation with our safeties, or even being a backup cornerback option, basically just being that guy like, hey, someone needs a breather, go get him type player. So I really like this deal for the Detroit Lions. At number 8, I have good old club three fingers Jason PierrePaul returning to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 2-year, $27 million deal. He was a key contributor to Shaq Barrett and his success. He really stepped up his game last season and helped out that Buccaneers defense as a whole. It really just, he made everyone around him better. He is a true leader on this defense, and I'm glad they were able to bring him in on an affordable deal. That's very cheap, $13.5 million for an edge rusher, especially with his production last year. And looking at it, there was interest. Like, he was drawing interest from the Baltimore Ravens, from what I heard, and a few other teams, but I think it's more or less that he wanted to go back there because he knew they were going to land a big fish quarterback, whether it was Phillip Rivers or, in this case, it happened to be Tom Brady, and he made the right decision by returning to Tampa Bay, and hopefully him and Shaq Barrett can cause mayhem in that backfield again. At number 7, I have the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is the most recent one, getting Vaughn Bell over from the Saints. The Saints grew this guy and developed him, and then they just kind of said, we don't need your services with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson being drafted last year, so they let him go, and he went to the Bengals for very cheap and is being paired with one of his former teammates in Jesse Bates over from Ohio State. He went there on a 3-year, $18 million. Like I said, I really like this deal. It's very affordable for the safety, and the fact is that he did really step up his game and help make his defense around him better. He made Marcus Williams' job a lot easier, and so a guy like Jesse Bates, who's in his second season now, I feel like he'll make his job a lot easier in that backfield too. At number 6, we have the first of many trades to come in this deal. Calais Campbell going over and getting an extension by the Baltimore Ravens. He got a 2-year, I want to say it's basically the same thing Jason Pierre-Paul got, a 2-year, $27 million deal that is also very good for a player of his caliber. He still had great production for Jacksonville. He was just a cap casualty on a team that needed to find somewhere to move the money around, to bring in a couple free agents, even just to sign draft picks for the upcoming draft. But Calais Campbell, they did add a 5th-round pick, and Jacksonville's going in full rebuild right now. So they didn't need a guy that's 34, 35 right now on the roster. Go let him possibly win a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens at his point in his career. At number 5, I have the former Brick for Hands tight end Eric Ebron, who really revitalized his career going to the Indianapolis Colts on that 2-year contract. It was a very affordable deal, and if you look what he's going over to the Steelers for, 2-year, $12 million, a guy coming off a season 2 years ago now who had 16 touchdowns. Last year he was hindered by injury, but he still had very good production, and he made that unreal catch in the back of the end zone. I think Eric Ebron is getting better, and he is worth that 2-year, $12 million. I mean, you see guys like Jimmy Graham and Trey Burton who are getting paid $8 million a year. Hooper just got $11 million. Hunter Henry just got $10 million. I don't think Ebron's $4 million to $2 to $4 million away from those guys. I think he's better than Jimmy Graham and Trey Burton at this point in his career. He is not as good as Hooper, obviously, or Hunter Henry, but I mean, if he could get rid of those drops, he's going to an ideal situation and being a pass catcher for Big Ben, and I feel like he'll be a definite red zone target, something that they've been missing since Heath Miller because Vance McDonald hasn't really panned out for them. But that is a great get, especially for the contract for the Steelers. At number 4, we have DeForest Buckner coming over from the San Francisco 49ers for a first-round pick. The Colts obviously said, I don't see us taking a quarterback or having one of the top 3 fall to us at 13, and I don't feel like trading up. They obviously weren't in love with Jordan Love and other names like Jacob Eason and a few other names right there, Jake Fromm. So they said, I don't feel confident taking a guy like that at 13. Why don't we get a 1-year rental in Phillip Rivers, have him be the bridge quarterback? I could see them trading into the first round still, or using that 33rd or 35th pick to get their quarterback of the future, whether it be Eason or Jordan Love. But them trading that 13 for DeForest Buckner and extending him right away is huge for that growth of the defense that was hoping to take that next step this offseason, especially with Andrew Luck retiring, but Jacoby Brissett didn't step up. The defense struggled against the run greatly, and so now adding a big body like Buckner to stop the run will be huge for this defense moving forward, and they only had to give up a first-round pick for a player that's 24 or 25 years old. At number 3, we have the Denver Broncos giving up a 7th-round pick to get the assistance of Darrell Casey from the Tennessee Titans. Literally, this dude has great production still at age 30, 31. He was a key piece to that Titans defense, and they gave him up for a 7th-round pick. That's mind-blowing to me that he came over on that cheap, and that is huge for Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and Darrell Casey. Just basically, that whole front is going to be scary, and that defense is going to be ready to help out Drew Lock if he does happen to struggle in games this year. He did have good flashes from what I saw with that offense, but he's still a young quarterback. He doesn't have much experience. He's going to need that defense to help him out in certain games, and adding Casey for a 7th is huge for them. Short of that number 1 spot, I have Chris Harris. Chris Harris didn't get the money he wanted in free agency, but you know what he did get? He gets to play his former team in the Chargers 2 times this season, going over to the Los Angeles Chargers, and they just got a new logo design, and they're probably going to get new uniforms. I heard it's going to be like a powdered blue and a yellow, or like a golden yellow or something like that. But Chris Harris went to an ideal team. He can still play at that number 1 corner level, but it's going to be interesting where they use him, because they do have their slot corner in Desmond King. Casey Hayward, I guess he's still a number 1. It's hard to tell. I haven't really stayed updated on him, but I know he's definitely regressing and not at his old form. So Chris Harris could still be the number 1, but having that elite of a secondary to pair with Derwin James and hopefully Nasir Adderley, that is scary in the backfield of that defense for them. And Chris Harris the Chargers basically getting the assistance of Chris Harris on a 2-year, $17 million deal. Like I said, Chris Harris didn't go here for the money, but he definitely sees something in this team. And I just hope Tyrod Taylor, if he does happen to be the starter, steps up and helps out his defense. And my number 1 move for the offseason is pretty obvious. DeAndre Hopkins going for a bargain to the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is ecstatic right now, and he's also getting protection. I debated on putting Marcus Gilbert up here just because of how cheap he was for a right tackle. He was a 1-year, $3.75 million, but literally just getting Hopkins for the next 2 years, even if you guys don't extend him, that's huge for Kyler Murray's growth and development to have that big of a weapon. And basically, Larry Fitzgerald isn't the best receiver anymore, but him coming back too is just huge for everyone in this system. Only giving up a 2nd and David Johnson for Hopkins, because the 4ths were just a flop, like a switch of both, so I don't count that. But David Johnson, a 2nd for Hopkins, is mind-boggling. Obviously, kudos to the GM for the Arizona Cardinals. I should really get to know your name, because how you swung that deal is beyond me. But you know what? Enjoy Hopkins, enjoy Nuke, do the most with him, and Kyler Murray, I hope to see your success. But I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please let me know if I need to do anything to make these videos better, whether it be the audio, if you guys are basically happy with the content I'm throwing at you. And I do have a sneak peek coming at my next video with something I've been planning on for a while now, ever since free agency started. So I will be releasing a trailer hopefully in another video because I might bring out 2 videos tonight. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Once again, keep bowling, playing out.